Griffith, how much changes, I guess, if Marcus isn't available and things have to move around a bit?
We'll look at him over tomorrow with his main session to see how he's pulled up. Obviously, he's fitted into that all-rounders role and filled some gaps for us, so we'd have to look at what the team makeup would be from there, and how we'd get our overs in particular, I suppose. But we try not to look too far ahead yet because we want to make sure have a look at him tomorrow and see how he's going.
What's your early feeling about it? Like, how bad is the injury? What did the scans show? And do you think he's a possibility of playing?
Look, he's pretty tough, Stoin, and he's played with the left side through the tournament, and he bowled 7 overs. I think it was against England in a row, and got through it okay. So it'll be more around scans show things, but it's more around his ability to actually perform. So we'll have a really good look at that tomorrow when he bowls. We'll not only it'll be on the pace and his GPS numbers, but he's also his execution, and see how he's going with that, and then we'll be able to make a pretty good assessment from there.
Have you ever seen anyone bowl with a side strain, let alone 2 side strains?
Not for a while, no. The left one's obviously the harder one because that's the pull down. The right side actually is probably, with his pull shot with his batting and throwing is probably a thing as well. So, as we said, it's pretty uncommon. So we're looking forward to seeing how he goes tomorrow.
So just to confirm, then you expect him to bat and bowl tomorrow? Is that
right? He'll train tomorrow. Yeah, he'll fully train, and that's the best indication we'll have. It's not just fit to play, but fit to perform.
If he doesn't play, who would likely replace him? You think he look more like for a bowler bowling around, or what? Coulton or is it Marsh?
It depends on which way the selectors want to go with it. There's the beauty of our squad at the moment is we've got a lot of options to do that. So we can go, more of a bowling option, or could go with more of a batting option. We've gotten overs out of Maxi, Smith, even Finchy. But if they want to go down the path of having more depth in our bowling, then we've got some great options there. And that's been, the hallmark of our tour, I think, is that when people have come in, they've done a great job. Jael said all the way, just be ready to go. I think Jason was a really good example of that. He just stayed prepared, got his opportunity and did really well. So whoever it is, it will do a great job for us.
Jason Roy obviously wasn't on board when he played at Lords. What have you made of him since he's come back, and what is he going to try and do to knock him over?
Well, he's a really important part, obviously, of their group. I think he just gives them a bit more confidence when he gets out there to bat. But we've been pretty good up front with the new ball. Obviously, we had a little hiccup against South Africa the other day, but I think when we bowl our best, that's good enough to take wickets, and we've just got to bowl our best ball as much as we can. We said that all tournament, that when our big left armers start swinging the ball back into the pads and going across, and obviously Paddy doing his thing, getting the seam up. So we've got a couple of things that we'll work on with him, but we'll probably keep that to ourselves, I reckon.
Where's Nathan Coulton at? Is he ready to come back in? He doesn't seem like he's training as much as he has been early on in the tour.
No, Coulter's, he's ready to go. We're just making sure that each player prepares differently, and each player has a different training schedule to what they normally do. A lot of those guys have been training before the game that we've played, so they've actually gone in early and done a really solid session. So we've tried to replicate them playing as well. So Coulter's ready to go. He'll have another bowl, at some stage this week, and he's good.
How important has Nathan Lyon's inclusion been in the past 3 games?
Yeah, pretty good, hasn't it? He's a senior pro that just knows where the ball goes. You see with his control, it's just they have to play good shots to get him, and he just gives that sense of calmness, I think, to the group. He's one of the great off spinners of all time in Australia, and what he's able to do, especially when the wicket's not turning, I think, is a really important part for us. With his pace and the consistency. I think we looked at his pitch maps the other day, and he's just so consistent where he lands it. So that's been a really key for us.
Tactically, what needs to improve from the South African game?
Nothing tactically. I think it's our execution.
Right.
We just didn't quite bowl the ball where we wanted it enough the other day, and we talked about it after the game that was a really flat wicket as it has been out here, and it's just your margin for error becomes smaller, and the guys are really good when we reviewed and we just went through it and said, look, again, making them keep hitting our best balls and keep hitting the top of the stumps, and we just weren't quite good enough at that the other day.
Have you had much to do with Edgbaston in your years as a coach, mate?
No, not a lot. No, I haven't had much time here.
Is it a ground that, by the looks of it, looks like it's a bit tough to defend? Because obviously it's known as a high-scoring ground that England do enjoy.
Yeah, it is, but we've got some batters that will enjoy batting out here as well. So again, that'll come into our planning and where we want to make their batters hit the ball is a real key when you're playing on grounds that have a good wicket, and a good outfield. So, but Manchester was pretty good the other day, so we had a really good test run there.
Do you still see Joe Root as the key wicket, or is it two openers now and just how much they feed off?
Yeah,
to make it going?
Yeah, they do. Probably one of the keys to the game is which team has the best first 10. That's going to be a real crucial moment. If we can get them 2 down at 10 and we're none down at 10, I think that'll go a long way to winning the game. But ultimately they've got some really good players. Stokes has been really good with the bat, and we all know what Butler can do down the order as well. So I think we don't want to get caught up in focusing on one or two individuals. We want to make sure we focus on their entire batting group and have ourselves up for the challenge for them.
And it's a long tail, not a long tail, but a long batting order for them as well. Like, is that something you have to consider as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. They can hurt you all the way down, and that's the important thing, is that you make sure that when you get on top of a team that you don't let your foot off and let them get away and score those extra runs at the end. And we saw that the other day, that we finished pretty well, but they probably got 15 too many at the end, and then that's the 15 runs that can cost you the game. So it's always being on top, and when you get that wicket, it's making sure that's when you really apply that pressure and try and get 2-3 wickets and really get a run on.
Everyone jokes a little bit about Matthew Wade's bowling, but you've seen him pretty closely. Could he bowl if he played on Thursday?
Oh look, he hasn't bowled in a game for a while. He does a great job with the ball for Tasmania, and it was a bit of a joke early in the summer, but he took some wickets and did okay. So look, Wadey's here. He said this morning that he's just here to do whatever he needs to do, and he's such a good team man that whatever's asked of him he'll do.
What's the pass for the first 10? What sort of metrics indicate that you win the game?
Wickets are the key in the front 10. If you can get inroads into a batting lineup, and we've seen that both when we've taken wickets and also as a batting group for us personally. So wickets are a key, and then it's consolidating in that 11 to 20. They've been really good at that 11 to 20 phase as well.
Was there much match-up knowledge to emerge from the Lord's game that you didn't already know? Like what can you take out of that you didn't know before?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
We're very, very. We've got a lot of people working on a lot of numbers for us and a lot of matchups for us. So the information we took into Lords, probably the difference is the conditions. Lords obviously nipped around a little bit that day, and it was a bit tougher to bat on. So this, I don't assume, will be anything like that. So we'll actually just probably take the lessons we had from Manchester on how we actually bowled and how we executed into this game, and add those into the plans.
And just how unsettling has this all been? All the changes, 3 massive squad changes, maybe more, leading into a World Cup semi-final. What's it been like inside the group?
It's been really good actually, and funnily enough, sometimes with these long tournaments, we started back in May in our preparation. Sometimes the group's been together for so long, it's actually quite refreshing to have new faces in. They give you a bit more energy and a bit more oomph to come in. So it's been really good, and the guys that have come in have been in this group in and out for a long time, so it's not like they're new faces to us. So the energy and lift that they've given us has actually been quite good. It's really disappointing for the guys that'll miss out now through injury. We really feel for those guys, but they've been brilliant around the group as well, so they're still part of what we're trying to do.